Hey guys, we are going to practice writing equations. So we have some word problems here. I don't want you to freak out because we're going to talk about ways that we can break these problems down into something that makes more sense. So the first thing I want you to do is write down these three words: per, each, every. Okay? If you see those words per, each, every, any of those, generally that means you're going to see a number next to the variable. Okay? So we're going to be talking about that on this first problem here. Another tip I'm going to give you is when you're writing an equation, don't try to solve for the variable. Okay? Your job is to write the equation to get to your total, to get to your difference, whatever it is. Okay? So, the first problem I see here says Carson got $10 of allowance money and babysat her cousin $8 per hour this week. So, I'm seeing right here this word per. Okay? So generally, if I see $8 per hour, this is usually my variable, okay? And so when I see this, generally what I think I would be looking for in this problem would be 8h. Now notice I haven't even finished reading this problem, but I'm pretty sure that that's what I'm going to be looking for. So if I was to take a guess, I would say B and D, one of those are going to be the ones that are right. And again, I have not even finished reading this problem. So I'm just going to put a little X here to check what I am telling you. Okay? She earned a total of $46 this week. Which equation below could be used to determine the number of hours? So notice, that's what I used, H. That she babysat this week. Okay? So, a couple of things. One thing that it tells us is she earned a total of 46. So in my brain, I'm thinking that my total answer is going to be 46. $46 by itself. Okay? So based on that information, I'm going to say, we already crossed off A, but it's not A, because I didn't say 46H, it's just 46. It could be B, it could be C, but it's not going to be D, okay? Now more than likely we've actually already gotten to the answer, because notice I already crossed off C. That's how easy it is, okay? So she earned a total of $46 this week, which equation can be used to determine the number of hours she babysat this week. So if you think about it, Carson started with $10, right? And I was trying to figure out if, I'm assuming this is a boy. No, it says girl, it says she. Carson. So Carson is a girl here. So $10. Okay, that's where she starts. And then she earns how much money? She earns $8 every hour. So I want you to think about this. If Carson worked 1 hour, how much money would she get? $8, right? 8 times 1. If Carson worked 2 hours, how much money would she get? 8 times 2, right? So 16. If Carson worked 5 hours, how much would she get? 8 times 5, which is 40. Okay? So basically, these two go together because we are multiplying. You're multiplying the money times the hours, okay? Now, if I was really to break this down a little bit further for you, if you think about it, what does $8 represent? It's $8 per hour, correct? And we're multiplying by however many hours it is. Okay? And when I do that, these hours cross out and I'm going to be left with money. So I know that probably is going over like a few of your heads right now, which is fine. But when I come back here and look at this, remember, just think of what I told you. Total, 46, and when I see per, each, or every, that's telling me number next to letter, okay? So I'm seeing that it's going to be number, letter B. Okay, so now we're going to look at number 2. And this says, Elton has 3 quarters in his pocket, and he has some nickels. The total value of the coins is $1.05. So that is telling me something right there that's very important. Which equation could be used to determine the total number of nickels in his pocket? Okay? So when I read this, the first thing I'm looking for is, do I know the end point of the equation? Because one thing I did not see here, I did not see per, each, every. Okay, so I'm going to have to break this down a little differently. So I know that the total value of the coins is $1.05. So when I add, I'm going to get $1.05. Okay, so when I look here, all of these say $1.05. So there's nothing I can get rid of there. Okay. The second thing is we're looking for nickels. Okay, so I want you to think how much nickels are. Okay, and nickels are 5 cents, and we write nickels like this, 0.05. Okay, so if I was looking at that, I'm pretty much going to tell you C and D cannot be correct. Okay, because this wouldn't make sense, because 5 would be like $5, okay? So this can't be right. I'm looking for some form of nickels, which would be 0.05. So C and D, those are gone. So basically, guys, we are adding the quarters and the nickels. But what do we know about the quarters? We know that there are 3 of them, right? So how much is 3 quarters going to be? Right, isn't that 75 cents? So right now, this one doesn't look good to me. I think it's going to be B. Plus, he has some nickels, and we don't know how many, but what we do know is that it's 5 cents for each nickel. So that one is kind of implied there, okay? So basically, I'm going to figure out how many nickels. I don't know how many, but 5 cents times however many nickels I get is going to give me $1.05. Okay, so when I look at this, that one looks like the best answer. Okay, so you take your time, break it down, and I'm going to tell you, you're going to figure it out. Okay, so number 3 says Dejanique is writing code for an assignment in her computer science class. She started today with 78 lines of code, and she can write 45 lines per class period. Okay, so I'm assuming my variable is either class C or period P. Okay, so she can write 45 lines per class period. Okay, this is telling me, remember, just like here, it was 8 per H, 8H. That's probably going to tell me this is either 45C or 45P. So we're going to figure out what the variable is here momentarily. Which equation below could be used to determine how many class periods P, okay, so this is the one we're using right here, it will likely take her to reach 250 lines of code. Okay, so let's start with one thing that we know. It's 45 lines per class period. Okay, so probably I'm going to see this in my answer. 45 times however many class periods. Okay, so let's go over here, and it's not going to be C, it's not going to be D. Okay, now I'm going to go back and I'm going to reread a little bit more. So this says we want a total of 250 lines of code. There it is. Okay, So she's writing lines for code. She started with 78. So that's how many she's starting with, right? That's her starting point. And then she can write, she's going to add up 45 lines per class period. 45 lines per class period. Which equation can be used to find the total of 250 lines, okay? So which one of these answers looks correct to you? Hopefully you can tell that it is A, because we have the plus, because she's gaining 45 lines. She's completing 45 lines for every class period, okay? Last one, guys, and we are almost done, okay? Danny's Gym charged a $10 fee. Okay, now generally when you see this word fee, that $10 is going to be all by itself. Okay, if you see a fee, I mean, unless they're trying to trick you somehow, it should generally be by itself. So if I was to take a guess, I would say this one is definitely not my answer. Okay? So I'm just going to put it to the side for now. Okay? So Danny's Gym charges a $10 fee to join plus $29 per month. There it is again, guys. I'm assuming my variable is going to be an M for month. Let's look. She calculated that the gym has cost her a total of $155 since she joined. Which equation could be used to determine the number of months, there it is, M, Danny has been going to the gym, okay? So, a couple of things. I'm about 100% positive it's going to be 29M, because we have to pay $29 for every month. 29 times 1 if it's 1 month, 29 times 2 if it's 2 months, 29 times 3 if it's 3 months, right? So right now, the only one I see that looks good is D, okay? But Danny also has to pay a $10 fee, and I can put that here, or I can put that ahead of it. It doesn't matter, okay? Which equation can be used to determine, she calculated that the gym has cost her a total of $155, okay? So that's the total, okay? So if I was looking at these initially, that one definitely would have, this one could have been right because it had 155 at the end, but otherwise this one, okay? But I do know that M should not go next to 155, that M is going to go next to 29, okay? So this is the right answer, okay? Because the M shouldn't go here, and the M should go next to the 10. So again, don't try to solve it. If you try to solve it, guys, it's going to confuse you. You're just trying to set it up to solve it afterward.